Hey everybody, and welcome back to some more Oxygen Not Included. We're back here with the Luckless Dystopia. It's cycle 21, and things are looking a little bit better than they did at the start of last episode. The stress is lower. Food is going to be probably a bit of an issue in today's episode. We need to make sure that we get that taken care of as soon as possible. We should probably bump up the priority of the micro musher just a little bit to make sure that people make food before they start doing stuff like building these storage compactors. And speaking of storage compactors, somebody in the comment section did point out that we currently have all of our storage compactors set to priority 6, which is a mistake because what that's doing is whenever a duplicant looks for something to do, they see that the storage compactors are a higher priority than pretty much everything else in the base, and then what they do is they just start sweeping up things around the base. So they'll start sweeping up all this stuff before they start doing stuff like generating power, producing food, reducing stress on the massage table, all that kind of stuff. And so we do want to make sure that we pull the priority of those the storage compactors down to 5. They should still get stuff put in them. People still should put stuff away if they don't have anything else to do, but hopefully this will allow us to get more stuff done like food production and like power generation, which is good. And what I want to focus on in today's episode is a couple of things. First of all, we do need to put down a couple of tiles over here because people in the comment section have also been pointing out, and actually, let me just cancel that, but we need to put down a double layer of tiles here. The reason why I canceled that top one is because if we put tiles down here first, I think what is going to happen, they're going to break the block. As soon as they break the block, the polluted water is going to flow down into our non-polluted water, and that's not what we want at all. Instead, we'll put down like a tile here, and then once that's done, we'll put down the second layer of tiles up here, and hopefully that should be enough to stop all of the polluted water like cracking through the rock and then falling through into here. I have played a little bit more Oxygen Not Included since the last episode. I've started up another colony and kind of done a bit more in a single player world, so I've got a bit of a better idea of where we need to go and what we need to do, and I have seen like the water pressure take place. If you try building stuff underneath water, and if it's not strong enough, then the foundation will start to crack and things will start to break and the water will start to seep through. So we do want to take care of that kind of as soon as possible, really. But power and the food is definitely a priority. I'm going to lower the priority of this over here. I'm not too bothered about these storage compactors being made just yet. And we will very quickly here copy the settings from the first storage compactor and paste it on all of the rest like so. So they're going to take pretty much everything apart from, I think, slime and polluted dirt. Is that what we set it to? They don't take polluted dirt. Do they take slime? I don't think so. I'm fairly certain that slime also goes in organic. I'm assuming that we just haven't gotten any slime yet, which is probably what has happened there. We probably do want to start looking into getting a little bit of slime soon, because right now we are running pretty much all of our base on algae, and we've only got 3,155 kilograms of that left. Once we run out of algae, almost all of our oxygen production is going to slow down to a halt. Right now we're doing just fine. We're producing about 20 kilograms more oxygen than we actually need, which is great, but if we do run out of algae, that is going to become a problem. And so at some point we should probably either dig over here to the left to get a little bit of this slime and start converting that slime into algae, or maybe even it might be better to do it up here, actually. I'm going to pause real quick because we did just get a sound. Oh, we've got a new duplicate available. We'll look at that in just a second. But it might be more worthwhile for us to dig further up here because we've got a lot of slime, but we've also got a ton of water. Now, it is all polluted water, but we can filter that out into normal water, and water is going to be a resource that we really need to start relying on going forward, not only because we need the water for food, but also because we can use the water for power. One of the things that we will unlock at some point in the future, and hopefully quite soon, is the hydrogen generator. And although we do have a little bit of hydrogen kind of like over here, this pink gas is hydrogen, there's some more down there. From my experience, the little pockets of hydrogen don't really last that long in a hydrogen generator, and so it would be preferable for us to have our own renewable source of hydrogen, and we can do that using electrolysis. We can turn our water into hydrogen and oxygen. Not only does that produce oxygen that will like relieve a bit of the stress that we have on our algae terrariums, but it will also produce hydrogen that we can then use for power. And that's going to be pretty good. It does rely on us having water, and I'm fairly certain that it also relies on us having clean water. I don't think that you can do the electrolysis on the polluted water, but for now, let's focus on some of the more immediate tasks. First things first, I'm going to put down a couple of ladders over here, just so that our duplicants can get over and access these tiles over here. We'll also dig out these blocks like so, and we should probably also dig out those ones as well, just to make it look a little bit cleaner. And then also, we have a new duplicant. And I don't know if you remember this, it's been a little while since the last episode, but we are looking for a duplicant that has creativity, because right now stress is pretty high and we have pretty much no decor around the base whatsoever. If we look at our decor values, it's all pretty low. We got a little bit of decor around the portal. We've got a little bit up here, I guess, with the cots possibly, or maybe even with the massage table, but for the most part, it's not looking pretty good. So hopefully we get somebody who is creative. Let's have a look. Choose a duplicant. And we did. In fact, all of them are a little bit better at creativity than the duplicates that we currently have, but Max has got a creativity of 5, he's got digging 3, 5 strength, he is a biohazard, which could be an issue. We haven't really had any of our duplicates get sick yet, which is a good thing, but Max might be the first one to do so. He's buff, he's strong, and he's creative. I think this is a guy that we're going to go for. Abe is probably like a better overall choice. He's pretty good at everything and he's really good at learning, but I think I'm going to go with Max the artist, level 5. Let's go ahead and print him off, hit play, and then straight away here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell Max to do nothing apart from build and do artwork. We'll change this in the future once we've built like a couple of paintings and a couple of statues and got the decor just a little bit higher and tried to reduce the stress just a little bit. But I think for the time being, we probably want to have some paintings here. They're not going to look great. Like I haven't designed the base with paintings in mind. There aren't specific spaces for paintings all around the base, but we can go ahead and throw down pretty much as many of these as we can. I'm just going to do something not like that. My mouse moved up a little bit there. We'll do something like that just to get down a bunch of paintings, which should start to reduce the 45% stress that we've got right now. Also, now that we have built this bottom layer of the... we've almost built the bottom layer. How come this has not been done? They should definitely now be able to reach this. I'm going to bump up the priority of that just a little bit to 6 there, and I'm also going to bump up the priority of all of these paintings to 6 as well, so that hopefully they get done as soon as possible. Oxygen generation is low. We are ever so slightly losing oxygen. It's not too big of a problem right now. We're losing like 3 to 4 kilograms per day, which is not the best. That's probably going to go down more than ever now because we do have a 5th duplicate, which is a lot of duplicates to have. Also, let's not forget that we do need to get a bunch of mush bars going. We do have 8,000 calories, which should be more than enough to get us through the day, but better safe than sorry, and better to have more of those than less. Somebody did come down here to build this. Sarah did, but she's taking a quick break to go to the shower. Speaking of which, I should get rid of the outhouse because I've seen way too many of our duplicates go down and use this instead of using the lavatory. I'm not quite sure why. Hopefully, this doesn't result in more duplicates kind of just peeing on the floor. That's definitely not what we want. Also, I'm not quite sure why Max is the one building down here. I do want him painting kind of as soon as possible, but he did fill in the bottom tile for us, which is good. And so now we can go ahead and schedule these tiles as well. And I'll probably just do something like this while we're here as well, because why not? I feel like that makes quite a bit of sense. And also, it'll look just a little bit nicer down here. How are we doing on... like oxygen? Carbon dioxide down here is real bad. It's like not a great place for people to work whatsoever, and it might not be a terrible idea for us to put an algae terrarium down here, although we are still running quite low on algae, and we do have a good supply of it. I think we got like a bunch of it over here, like up here, around here. We do still have quite a lot and a massive vein of it over here, and so it's not going to be too much of a problem in the near future, but it is something that we need to keep bearing in mind because at some point it's going to become a really big problem if we don't take care of it sooner rather than later. We do need a new cot here, so let's go to furniture. Yeah, furniture, cot, and let's throw down a 5th one over here for Max. You can go there tomorrow. We also recently unlocked mess tables. These give duplicates a place to eat and reduce stress. Duplicates will automatically eat at their assigned table when hungry, and so I'm thinking it might not be a terrible idea to set up kind of a few of these over in this kind of unused area that we've got over here, and I guess we could put one down like over on the side like that. And again, this is just more stuff to try and reduce the overall amount of stress in the base. You can see it's already going down just a little bit. I think mostly due to the fact that people aren't spending a heck of a lot of time down here in this oxygen-deprived, carbon dioxide-filled area, which I think is definitely improving the overall stress levels, which is great. Food is becoming a big issue. We should probably designate somebody to only work on food. We only have really 2 candidates, and I guess Joshua is the better cook of the 2 there. So I'm going to go ahead and just assign him to cook like 24/7. I'm going to set this to continuous, and we're basically going to have Joshua just 24/7 producing mush bars from the microbe musher. We should look into getting a better source of food pretty quickly. We do have our mealwood here, which is growing every so often, but if we go into research, did we unlock fine dining? We did, and so we can actually build ourselves a cooking station, which might not be the worst idea. I know we've got a food shortage, the game keeps telling us, but if we build a cooking station, we can actually cook our micro mush bars into a better source of food, and so I'm thinking we can put this down right about there. I think it might produce a little bit of heat, and it is kind of massive, but we'll hook this up with a little bit of power, like so, and then we'll set, once this is built, we'll set Joshua to actually cook all of the micro mush bars into a slightly better source of food. Is the priority? Yeah, okay, I thought so. I thought that the priority of the artwork would have gone back down to 5 as soon as the picture frame was made. So I'll bump those back up to 6, hopefully, once Max has finished building this picture frame, which for some reason takes forever compared to building other stuff. The stuff in the decor tab takes a ridiculously long time to construct, but once Max has finished building this picture frame, he will hopefully then start to work on painting. One thing we do want to do is make sure that nobody else paints, because Marie, as much as I would love to see what you do with the decor, and you do have a little bit of creativity, so I'll let you finish the one picture frame, but really we don't want anybody apart from Max doing paintings at all. We want to make sure that he's the only one painting stuff. That way we get the best paintings, and hopefully get the lowest stress in the base that we possibly can. It looks like Mima is maybe going to go work on, oh no, she's going to get water. I'm not quite sure if there's a way to stop them using this water, because for the most part, I would rather they just use this water, because Mima's stress is going to go up every time she comes down here, but I don't think there's a way for us to prioritize one body of water over another. I think it's just because it's maybe closer to the algae terrariums, although I don't really think it is. I'm not quite sure why that is. Oh gosh, look at that. Mima has been, nope. Okay, Mima, you need to stop. Look at look at this painting. This painting is probably not going to increase our decor all that much. It does increase it a little bit, but you can see nowhere near as much as this lovely like Mona Lisa style painting that we have up here. If we look, the total decor below here is 47. Over here, the total decor is 33 down to 529. So overall, just not as good. So I'm going to pause that real quick. I'm going to go and take Marie off of art duty. There you go. You can stop painting things. We'll leave that to Max. Let him do his job. We still need all of this stuff over here to get built. So I am going to prioritize this up to 6 like so. Hopefully that'll get done fairly quickly here. How are we doing on food? We're doing fine. We got just shy of 10,000 calories, which is good. Sarah and Mima are currently working on producing power. How are we doing when it comes to power? We're producing like way more power than we need. Kind of, but no, not really. We're producing 500 joules extra, which is half of a kilojoule excess per day. We do really want to start working on getting towards a source of power that doesn't require duplicates to run it, if that makes sense. So I don't want to have to use these manual generators all the time, and I think we unlocked, yeah, the coal generator at the end of the last episode. Now, the coal generator is not particularly great, mostly because it requires that you have a constant supply of coal, and by its very nature, coal is a non-renewable resource. We have a little bit of it up here, and I think we might even have a little bit of it in storage. Let me take a quick look under consumable ores. We've got 11,500 kilograms of the stuff, which should last us for quite a while, but again, like with the algae, it's something that we do want to keep an eye on. So I am going to go ahead and dig out a little bit of an area. I think over here, if we look at temperature, yeah, I think over here would be a good idea. The coal generator does produce a fair bit of heat, and so having it kind of over here where it's nice and cold is probably going to work out quite nicely. Hopefully we don't have any issues with the water here. I guess what we should do real quick is something like this, get a ladder that goes down to here, and then quickly replace like these with actual tiles. I think the actual tiles are a little bit stronger than just the basic rock that we start with. Let me cancel that, and let's also dig that up as well. I'm going to set all of this here to priority. I guess I'll set it to priority 7, because I want this doing kind of as soon as possible. And then once that's done, we'll have this set to priority 7 as well, so that they come down, get all this stuff dug out, we can get our coal generator up and running. And then once that's done, that should relieve both Sarah and Mima from the manual generator and have them free to do other stuff around the base, and we should get stuff done quite a bit quicker, which is good. We built the stuff over here, which is great, and now we've got the cooking station. There is a bunch of stuff that we can make. Unfortunately, we don't have what it takes just yet to make any of this better stuff, and so what I think we're going to have to make for now is just mush fry, which is basically just fried mush bars, which is still not particularly great, but it removes the disease potential from food, which is good, especially now that we have Max, who is a bit more susceptible to disease and illness. And so what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll set that to continuous as well. And so I'm hoping basically what will happen now, I'm going to set the priority of this just a little bit higher to 6. Actually, no, I'll set it to 7. And so what I think should happen is once Joshua produces a mush bar, he should pick up that mush bar, run over here, and use that mush bar to produce mush fry like he's doing right now. Once he runs out of mush bars, he should then look for what else he can do, realize that he can only cook, and see that he should come back and make more mush bars. And so hopefully, all of our mush bars should get turned into mush fry, and they should be just a little bit better than the mush bars that we've been eating up until now, which is good. We are just a little bit away from having this tile done, but I will go and upgrade the priority of all of this here to 7. You know what? No, I'm going to cancel this top line just in case the water is too heavy for 2 blocks, like, weight, I guess. And what we'll do instead is we'll dig out just, like, 1 deeper like this. And we'll have the duplicates just kind of do a bit of a jump down to get to here. But we will upgrade the priority of this to 7. Make sure that all of our duplicates work on that. And then we'll get the coal generator up and running, hopefully, pretty early tomorrow. Max does now have a cot, which is good. Stress is coming down nice and fast. The highest stress now is only 90%. It's actually dropping throughout the night. The decor is looking really good in the top section of the base here, which is great. We should probably expand that out to the rest of the base, really. You know, we'll put like a picture frame here. I would like to put one there, but the rations box just slightly like creeps over into this tile, which is not great. And then I guess we can put down probably a few up here as well, where the massage table and the medical cot is. And then we'll put some more stuff down here at some point as well. I'd also like to get a sculpture going. It could be quite cool to have maybe one like right there. Just where, I'm just basically putting it where we have space to put it. But we'll do that. We've almost got space down here, which is good. Once we do have that space, we'll throw down a coal generator, probably like right at the back like this. I think this thing is going to produce quite a lot of carbon dioxide as well, which is not great. And so it might again be worthwhile putting down some algae terrariums somewhere down here. Maybe if we can like move these ones, because right now we don't have much carbon dioxide sitting on the floor of the base, and so I'm not quite sure how well these are doing. Although, as we mentioned before, they don't use that much carbon dioxide. They consume 333.3 milligrams, which is a really small amount, and so they might be doing just fine. I'm not too sure. How in the world are we short on food? Where the heck is Joshua? He's there. He seems to be producing food, but I guess it's maybe just too slow. I'm hoping we should be fine. Yesterday we produced 14,600 calories and only removed 500. And yet today, well, oh, I guess it's just people eating early in the day. I think this should balance itself out. I think over the course of the day, we will produce more food than we eat, hopefully. If not, we might have to stop him using the cooking station, because it looks like that is taking away a little bit of his time from the micro musher. Is this a high-level priority? It's not. Actually, we didn't even dig that far out. Let me cancel that, and let's instead put it just a little bit further forward, and we'll put it down right about there. We'll make that a priority 7 to make sure it gets done as soon as possible, and then we'll hook it up to power like so. We may as well also throw down some tiles over here as well, just to make the area look a little bit nicer. Don't want the tiles there. We'll get rid of those, although we could probably throw tiles down like along here as well, just to make this look a little bit nicer as well. But again, we got to prioritize what we do here, so we'll do this, and that should be fine. Once that's built, we should be able to take at least 1, maybe 2 of our people off these wheels full time and just have them doing other stuff, which will be great. Maybe have another person working on food, because that does seem to be a little bit of an issue, which is not great. We do have more pictures up now, which is good. You can see the decor is spreading. It's a little bit better down here, although not great. I'm trying to do up the areas where people work before we start working on like areas over here where people don't spend much time. I guess we should probably do up this area over here where people eat, because that's probably another area where they spend quite a bit of time. But areas like this one where our meal wood is growing, and areas like this one up here where all of our storage is not, they're not areas where our duplicates spend a lot of time, and so I'm not really too worried just yet about putting up a bunch of decor. Eventually, we'll probably put some pictures up over here just to have the full base be high in decor. But for the time being, I kind of want to prioritize the areas like this one, and then to a lesser extent like this one where our duplicates spend a fair deal of time. We do now have a coal generator, which is good. We should probably throw down a storage compactor over here, and we'll have this designated to only contain coal. I do need to make sure that we bump up the priority of these cables real quick so they get done as soon as possible. I will then bump up the priority of the coal generator to a 7, just to make sure that power is constantly being produced by the coal generator, and if it does run out of coal, somebody comes down to fill it up before they do anything else in the base. We will also bump up the priority of this storage compactor to 6 once it's done, to make sure that all of the coal is put there as soon as it's mined, so that we always have a constant supply of coal ready to go. All of our duplicates are working hard to get this done. They're probably going to go up in stress, but right now we're only at 8%, so that's fine. Everything is actually looking pretty good. Things are doing a lot better than they were before. We're not really interested in another pod just yet. Joshua has nothing to do because we're not producing any power, but now that Sarah's back on the wheel, he is going to be back to work. Food seems to have picked up again, which is good. We're back up to 10,200 calories, 11,200 calories, which is great. And now that we're producing power, I think we can go ahead and reduce the priority of, I think, this wheel over here to 4. Then hopefully free Mimar up to do some other stuff, which should be good. We will assign this thing to solely fuel, which is under consumable ore, like so. We do then want to make sure that all of the rest of the storage compactors do not contain coal, so I'm going to uncheck that, copy settings, and I'll paste that to all the rest of them like this, and like that. Good stuff, good stuff. And that should be good. So now all the coal should go down here. It should get put into the coal generator as soon as possible. We will bump this up to 6 to make sure that all the coal gets in there. At some point, they'll come and build the tiles, which is good. Mima should get off of this wheel anytime soon. I think she'll get off it once the batteries reach 50% capacity, which they'll do any second now. We might even want to upgrade our batteries to the bigger ones so we can store more of the runoff power. And also, I think the bigger batteries are also better at retaining power. These ones do kind of lose power over time, which is not great. But with that, guys, I think I'm going to end today's episode of Oxygen Not Included there. As always, if you did enjoy the video, be sure to hit like. It really does help out a lot. Stress is getting up there a little bit again. It's back up to 70%, but that is a problem for next episode. Again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.